the armored horse archers. And then I'll be back over here trying to get these cataphracts in. See, I was losing this engagement over here for sure. But I was able to stall long enough to actually charge into the back of those Vigulays and rout them. I mean, they eventually routed. And then my center started to weaken. And that's when I started to notice that I was losing the center. And if I just let these guys die, I probably would have lost myself. However, their Aravachi came to help. I mean, one of his noble fighters are over there trying to get a slinger, which is a waste. The Romans aren't doing any good. I decided to bring my Azat Knights over here because I think I'm going to charge not only to this clump of infantry, but as well as this clump of infantry because I'm losing over here. I mean, these guys will probably die regardless of what I do. These Vigulays get kind of bold and decide to go for my royal cataphracts, which I mean have 11 men enough but have done their share of damage. I forget about this unit. I decide to charge the artillery because even though they're not firing, well, they are firing, but they're not getting anything right now. They're still damaging my units. This unit of friggin' means noble cav will rout. I'm pretty sure they did rout because they got charged. I mean, he was going for me, my Azat Knights, which are going for this unit. These two guys are still firing. And then my Eastern Javelin men are still firing into the clump over here. What else? And my Azat Knights and my general and Azat Knights are going to charge over here because even though the spear units are engaging frontally against the sword units, which are guerrilla and painted warriors, we'll still lose. And one of my units routed. I think, yes, right over here. My curly axemen finally routed. No, actually, no, these are noble spearmen. Took too much damage in routed. I charge it to the back of these swordmasters and get a good charge off. I believe, if I'm correct, I'm going to charge to the back of these patrolling guards. Yes, I am. See, this is why I like casting my own replays, because I know what I'm going to do. Even though I haven't seen this replay in a while. They do turn to face me, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. They do less damage just because of the fact that he turned. But I mean, eventually these sword masters are going to rout as well. Wodenaz spears activated counter cavalry tactics, but that doesn't matter. I decided to put these guys in formation because I need them to hold out slightly longer than usual, so I can not only help out over here, but finish up these guys so that I can in turn bring them over here where I can deal with these two units as well as this clump, which is starting to get to my back of men over here. This unit of Royal Cataphracts routs eventually because they did their share of damage, but yeah, they're gone. Eventually, Pergamon, they're still doing good, and evidently the Romans could not get past the pike block. There's a lot of ways you can beat pikemen. They are slightly still overpowered, but there's still ways you can beat them. What else? Quickly now! These guys have not routed yet because they're spears. I mean, they will rout eventually. I bring these cavalry back. I'm charging with my Cappadocian cav. They won't do too much damage. However, I do catch this unit of auxiliary and Syrian archers and I decide to take them out. I think my biggest blunder this match was my overinvestment into missile infantry because if I'm correct, these guys barely did any damage. They got some kills, yes, and they weakened the armor. And besides that, I don't think they did too much. Oh, I might take that back actually. They seems to be doing quite some damage against this Praetorian Guard. Overall, I think I overly invested into skirmishing.
Forward! Advance at speed!
And it's just because I wasn't expecting this battle to go like the way that it did. This unit of Cartly Axemen, they should start winning against Praetorian Guard. However, they might not. I mean, they are exhausted. Yeah, they may or may not.
Forward!
This unit is starting to rout. Veteran Legionaries versus Noble Spearmen. And it just comes down to melee defense because these guys are exhausted. I charge into the back of these guys with Trample to make sure that this unit of Praetorian Guard will definitely rout. However, they use the whip, increases his melee attack, which could hurt this unit of Spearmen. Nevertheless, they will definitely become exhausted because they're in combat, or they'll at least become very tired. And that's the game. Rome could not break Pergamon, and the rest of the Romans will rout for sure. Good game, well played. Pergamon took the least amount of damage. Aravaci took the most. I did not get the most kills because Pergamon was like boxed in Rome, their Roman opponent, but I brought the least amount of men. And so when it comes to like deployed to kill ratio, I got about 1.0. I mean, it was a good match though. My Azat Knights, my general Azat Knight got 92 kills. My other two got 113 and 75 respectively. My Cappadocian Cav did a lot of damage. My Cataphracts could have done more damage this game. Like, this unit got wasted. This unit did okay. But these two units did good. My Armored Horse Archers didn't do that much damage. And like I said, I think I overly invested into missile infantry this game, because this unit did nothing. These two units just weakened armor, and then these three units were just skirmishing against the enemy's skirmishers. But I mean, I caught most of them with my Azat Knights, so it made no difference. Again, my Axemen didn't really kill that much either. This unit got 63. But that's what it means to play as an Eastern faction. Most of the times, your Cav, especially the heavier ones, like Royal Cataphracts, will get the most kills. Whereas when it comes to a faction that relies more on infantry like Rome, most of the times, as you can see, 67 kills here, most of the times it's the infantry. The elephants didn't do anything. The cavalry did nothing. And yeah. This guy was actually fighting the Pergamenes, or Pergamon actually. This guy was my opponent. Most of his kills came from the Praetorian Guard. He had a unit of Legionary Cav, which got 6 kills. Good for it. Yeah, most of the kills I shared between the Armored Legionaries and the Praetorian Guard. This unit actually routed at the end, and so did this unit. They got slightly almost no kills. Over here, it was mostly these guys, because they were charging, I think, into the skirmishers, but not the infantry. He brought so many pikes, but it worked out well for him. I mean, they got a lot of kills. But I mean, he camped on a hill, and that's what most people who bring pikes do. He brought the most amount of infantry, and it worked out well for him. Yeah, but that's basically how I play as Armenia. I'm going to do one game, and then I have to go. So let's see if I can get a 1 versus 1. And I'm going to try to bring Persian Cav instead of the regular Royal Cataphracts / Eastern Cataphracts. I'll bring Azat Knights. 3 of these guys should do. When you're going up against Rome, expect more Syrian archers / Balearic slingers than velites, because they're better. Like, they're obviously better because they do more damage, with the exception of Balearic slingers. Balearic slingers are just better against enemy archer units. But I expect those 2 because I believe Rome would rather have you come at them than they come at you. And that's just because of gameplay reasons. This battle... Oh, he left. Well, let's just see if I can get somebody to play against. I'm going to see if I can bring... two units of Eastern archers and have more of a core of that might not work actually. Might have to bring 3 noble spears. Noble spearmen do not have expert charge defense, but they're still pretty good, especially when they're protecting the back of your Cartly axemen. Or maybe that's just me, how I view this game. I will not be bringing Eastern Spearmen. And... should I bring Noble Horse Archers? I used them yesterday, so I won't use them today. Seems like I guess I can bring Eastern Spearmen. I'm going to save this this setup because I'm going to see if I can get somebody to play against. I don't think any of my friends that play Rome 2 are on right now. I think Romeo's playing, I think he's playing some other game. Arc. Oh, we got somebody. I prefer to face the Romans more than any other faction, especially Carthage, because as I mentioned in my Carthaginian stream, Carthage could, like, adapt to any other faction. Like, I mean, mind you that they're more soft counters than hard counters. But I mean, they still counter other factions. Every other faction in the game, they have some sort of counter to it. So I'm about to leave in, I think, 30 minutes. So I guess I have time for 2 games if I can quickly win them. And if you guys haven't known, if you guys don't know this, I'm more of a person that likes to win battles quickly. That's probably why I don't do well in Company of Heroes 2, because battles tend to be drawn out for 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Good games last like an hour. But I'm used to winning campaign games in like 3 to 5 minutes, winning online battles in 10 or less, sometimes 20 if the opponent is pretty good. But I mean, losing a game doesn't mean you're bad at Rome 2. It's if you lose constantly and you lose a lot more infantry than your opponent does. Because cavalry are easy to kill in Rome 2. You just have to swarm them with skirmishers. But then again, skirmishers are easy to kill. They can be hard countered by cavalry. Cavalry can be countered by spear units. Spear units can be countered by swords. Swords can be countered by